Chicago and New York, and they just haven't finished counting the numbers in Cleveland and Miami, St. Louis and Washington, D.C., and many other cities where I am sure those numbers are just as high. It is still empowerment time in America when the HIV/AIDS death rate is 10 times higher in Black America. And it is still empowerment time when our equality index shows that the gap between the economic status of African Americans and that of our white brothers and sisters is 56%. It is still empowerment time because tonight we are at a crucial moment in history when we have a choice, and it is a clear choice. Either we must take a step forward or we are going to fall further behind. And standing still, I respectfully submit, in 2004 is not progress. And that is the case for this great nation of ours as a whole, and it is certainly the case for the Urban League movement at this time in particular. Tonight, I have three things to share with you. First, I want to talk to you about what I've been doing in my first year as your leader. Second, I want to talk to you about how we are going to build a renewed Urban League movement designed for the challenges of tomorrow, but based on the foundation of yesterday. And then third, I want to offer some advice to the men who would be president next year. In the last year, I've been to almost 50 affiliates. And I've racked up a lot of frequent flyer miles. I've worn out about a half a dozen pair of shoes. I've been confused in several time zones. And I've been moving so fast in the last 12 months that one day as I was leaving my home, my wife yelled to me, "I just don't know who you love more, me or that Urban League." And I leaned back in the door and said, "Well, one of you is a close second." Michelle, I want you to know you're number one. But I also want you to know tonight, I love the Urban League. I love the Urban League. And I love you too, Michelle. And as I've traveled across this nation from Portland to Pittsburgh, to Seattle, to Lexington, to Los Angeles, to St. Petersburg, to St. Louis, to Richmond, to Elyria, Ohio, to Nashville, to Kansas City, to Philadelphia, to many more communities, I have learned some valuable lessons from all of you. I've certainly learned that there is no tougher job in America than being the leader of a local affiliate. You must demonstrate a whole lot of savvy. You must exercise resourcefulness. You must raise money. You must raise money. You must raise money. And you must somehow make a payroll every 2 weeks. You need the faith of Paul. You need the patience of Job, the loyalty of Ruth, the strength of Samson, and the wisdom of Solomon. And as I've moved around the country to these almost 50 affiliates, I have witnessed time and time again that the local level is where we do our best and most important work. It is where we find jobs for people. It is where we provide safe, wholesome opportunities for children, from toddlers to teenagers. It is where we nurture small businesses. It is where we help people buy their first homes. It is also at the local level where our affiliate CEOs are important advocates for school reform, for safer neighborhoods, for economic empowerment, for an end to police brutality and racial profiling, for civic inclusion, for partnerships with business, for political accountability. In short, it is clear that you, our affiliates, are indeed the heart, the soul, the bone, the muscle, and the marrow of this movement. It isn't a cliche. We mean it when we say it. you make the Urban League tip, our affiliates. And as we work for the future, I say tonight, we must and we will continue to put our affiliates first. In the past year, I've worked hard to live up to the commitments we made in Pittsburgh, and I want to go over a few of them. Our Legislative Policy Conference and Urban League Day on the Hill took Capitol Hill by storm. The sight of hundreds of you on Capitol Hill had one member of Congress thinking he had seen thousands of us. That's the power of making your presence felt in person. Emails are okay, letters are okay, phone calls are okay, but being there is what really counts. And we will go to Capitol Hill each and every year with our own message of jobs, education, and civil rights. We've got to keep our agenda at the top of the nation's agenda. And our commission on the black male is already in its formative stages with a staff working group planning 2 events in the next year. And thanks to a planning grant from the Rockefeller Foundation, we will have 2 town meeting style forums this coming year, one at Morehouse College and the other at a prison or correctional facility. We want to talk to young men we know have a bright tomorrow, as well as those who can't seem to see past the clouds of today. Our HipHopReader.com initiative has brought together our trustee Russell Simmons, Hip Hop Summit Action Network, the Verizon Foundation, and the Urban League to encourage high school students to read more by using the internet. And if you're interested, go to HipHopReader.com. In the job training arena, we will soon launch a new youth career program in 15 yet-to-be-determined cities. This initiative will provide job and job counseling opportunities for young people between the ages of 15 and 24. And I'm excited about this new initiative because it will give our affiliates an opportunity to do their best work, to work with the faith-based community, to put many of the young people I talked about who are out of school and out of work back to work with skills so that they can be independent and productive. And to continue to close the digital divide, our new relationship with SBC will fund digital empowerment academies at 10 additional affiliates. And thanks to Dell and our trustee Paul McKinnon, our New York headquarters now has top-of-the-line Dell PCs. In the business development arena, the recent award by the U.S. Department of Treasury will mean $127 million in new markets tax credits to our strategic alliance with Stonehenge Capital. And it will give us an opportunity to pioneer into an area of economic empowerment where no civil rights organization has worked before. And our new partnership with Citigroup will allow us to expand our financial education classes in 6 new affiliate cities. Citigroup has awarded us the largest financial education grant in the history of the Citigroup Foundation. And in the area of education, the Brown versus Board Summit that we promised last year will take place Friday here in Detroit, moderated by the distinguished Harvard law professor Charles Ogletree. You must be there as we talk about the future of urban education and how we make the promise of Brown versus Board a reality in the 21st century. In the health arena, we've shared with the board our new strategic plan. And as Mike mentioned, at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, our new wellness walk will get your hearts pumping as the sun rises. And I expect to see each and every one of you there. This past year, our research efforts were re-energized. Our State of Black America report, which included our new equality index and NUL survey received